Hey, what's up, boys? Sean or Mustang09 bringing a new video, and today we're in this lovely shop because we are installing just a few parts. We have the driveshaft shop, aluminum one-piece driveshaft, UPR driveshaft safety loop, and an MGW short throw shifter, all getting installed today, thanks to my friend Charles over here.
What's up?
You guys know him from SEMA, from the drag strip. This is his baby, turboed. It's so sick. Oh, y'all can't see that, it's too bright. There we go. Dude, don't worry about the dirtiness. My car's filthy. So it looks good in the dark, but when the sun's on it, it's disgusting. So he opened up his shop to us so kindly on this freezing cold day, and we're going to get on his lift and install these parts, which is the reason why I've been waiting to install these the whole time, is so that we could get on a lift and not break our backs on the ground. So we're going to get these things going.
Let's get it.
And since we have so much to do, I may break this up into 2 videos. We'll just have to see how long the install takes on everything and how much I'm able to record. So maybe 2 videos, maybe 1. I don't know. We'll see. And if you guys want to see kind of like a build breakdown on Junior's car, we call him Junior, his name's Charles, but Junior, on his turbo 3-valve, let me know, because I would love to do kind of like a little build breakdown on that and let him explain everything that's going on with it. The car's super sick, so maybe after we do some install stuff, we can go and talk about his car, and I'll bring that to you guys in like a separate video or something. So yeah. To start off, we're gonna remove the factory shift knob, or this aftermarket shift knob, and the console so that we can get access to the shifter. Okay, so that stuff is out of here. I will tell you guys, if you want like a really good video, just head on over to MGW's YouTube page. They have a step-by-step process. I'm just gonna kind of show you the hardships and the stuff we go through while we're installing this, and this is a more real deal install than a setup in the studio one, which is nothing wrong with that. It definitely educates you on how to go through it. This is kind of my version of that. So we have the center console out, boot out, some sound deadening out, and then now we've got to jump online and figure out what comes next. And then I think we can get the car in the air, take the drive shaft off, and then start working to remove this from below the vehicle. So here we go. Set up 3 bolts on, there's actually 4 on top of the shifter. One's on the passenger rear, and you're not gonna be able to get to that. So we'll do the 3 we can get to for now, and then later we'll lower the shifter. We'll get that 4th one off. She is up there. So since we're going to be replacing the drive shaft with the one-piece one, that sounds funny, a one-piece one, we got to take the exhaust off, or just the mid-pipe at least, and then that'll give us more clearance. We're going to go ahead and take the drive shaft out before we move further with the MGW, so we're going to do that and then bring you guys the action from when we're removing the factory shifter.
Okay, we're out from back here.
Okay, let's drop her down.
Get her out.
There we go.
Bada boom.
Yep. Cool. That thing's off again. God. The good thing is, HPP hit me up and they were like, hey, we can tune that so that you don't have to worry about changing this out every year for your inspection. So this year, I'll be seeing you, Manny. Boys over at HPP, I'm coming. Boys, don't forget to undo the e-brake before you raise the car. Obviously, we can lower it and it'd be easy, but this is also why it's good to have little friends. Instead of us big boys squeezing up in there. She's free?
She's free.
She is free. Thank you, sir. And the reason why we need the e-brake down and then out of gear is so that we can turn the drive shaft and get off all the bolts.
On the spot
he's
over
good.
here. Oh my god.
What was it?
Yeah, it was a 12.
A 12. Same size as mine. Never mind. My shotgun. That's what it sounds like after I eat Chipotle. So the rear's done. The front four have been taken out. Now we've got to get to this little mount here. What do you call this?
The carrier bearing.
Carrier bearing. Mr. Ford Tech over here.
That's gonna.
It's gonna fall.
It's gonna fall
once it comes off.
I'm gonna man the camera in this end of the. Woo! Ooh, that zapped it right on out of there. I think we need, this is rubber mallet time, or?
Yes. Mallet time for sure.
A little pry bar.
Yes, that's what it is. Pry bar. One of those I was trying to remember the tool list from online, and there was a rubber mallet involved and a pry bar.
You put pry against that bolt right there. Yeah, there you go.
One of those attitude adjustment devices.
There we go. Good job.
She goes. There she blows. Out with the old.
Got it?
Got it.
So if you can see here, these two back bolts, they were 10 mil nuts on there. Took those off. There was two. And so now we're going to work on watching the rest of the MGW video to see what's next.
That was on.
So this came off back here, part of those two 10 mil nuts that we took off. So you can just tell the rubberness of this, how it moves around in there. Just quality Chinese parts. This lifts off, this lifts down, and then we take it out. So this should lift up. And then this should come.
There you go.
Ha! Sean knows.
No, he said we don't have to take that one out.
Yeah.
Ford, first on race day. Fix or repair daily.
Oh God.
This is scary. I may not make it home, guys. So we have this Dynamat that was provided by MGW. It's this sheet right here, real stuff. We cut two pieces that are 1 by 2 inches. The first one goes on the arm of the shifter. Does it go before the cup or after the cup?
No, it was back here.
Well, there's two pieces.
Oh, the other one was on this piece.
Oh yeah, that's right. So this arm.
So do you want to put them on long ways, or you want to put them on horizontal or vertical?
I think horizontal like this, right? Hold on, back to the video. Oh, it wraps around, so it goes vertical.
So do you want it in the front or the back?
quit asking these tough questions. We're going to clean it off for great adhesion.
Oh yeah.
Ah, just a good cleaning on the rod.
She's good now.
Oh, she's good, Justin. Oh, that looks great. Great Dynamat job. Perfect. Okay, so next part of the process. Kind of embarrassing moment. We were watching the wrong video, but it said it was the updated one. So I guess we weren't looking at the race spec shifter. We were looking at something different. So now we are going to remove that arm that we put the Dynamat on. So
this one right here.
That arm comes out, and I believe this one comes out. There's a bolt.
Yeah, there's a bolt in the top of it.
Yep, that's going to come out on. So okay, well, we're back on track. Maybe. And this is why I make my install videos, to show you guys like the reality of installs. So hopefully you can take my lessons and not mess up like we did. So, but it's not a bad mess up. We're good to go. Top bolt for the shifter linkage arm is being a bear to get out. It's real tight in there between the tunnel and where that thing comes out at. So we've got the trans jack up so that we can just support it. We're going to remove some of these bolts, so hopefully it gives us enough wiggle room to where we can get that thing out. So, but anyways, we need to get these two back cross member bolts out or lowered so that we can put the safe drive shaft safety loop in from UPR anyway. So it's kind of working ahead a little bit here. So here we go. Haha, let there be light. So to get that bolt off up there, we found a new way. We're going to remove the bolts from the cross member, pull down. We are going to support the trans with the trans jack still, and that way we should be able to access that bolt freely and have plenty of room to get rid of that. So let's give it a shot.
Okay. So we need that bolt.
Wait, are we not using this again?
I don't think so. We dynamatted a lot of stuff. We were watching the wrong video, okay?
This is what you do for the non-race spec, but this is full race car.
Yeah, this is race car.
This is race car.
That's right, Charles.
This is race car.
He's got my back, boy.
So with the new race spec, it comes with this new linkage. I don't know if you can see that, but what it says is, because this is basically a set pin with a little, you want to apply a nice amount of Loctite right here. As you reinstall it onto the transmission, you want to push down so that way you can get this pin set in the base, and then you'll go ahead and tighten it down. So let's do it. Whenever you're doing it, or if you decide to do it, you can feel on the bottom of the shifter are this linkage here. Whenever the bottom of that pin is all the way through and lined up, then you can go ahead and kind of wiggle and try and get it start screwing down on there.
Junior doesn't know he just messed up.
What?
All the installs now are coming over to his place.
Bring it on, man.
I'm gonna need a copy of the key to the shop. From the factory stuff to this is like night and day.
Oh, dude, it's solid.
Yes, I'm so excited. And you guys know the reason why we're doing this, right? One, because race car, and two, because we have that race with Black Nick that, you know, he called us out at the street car takeover thing. So I'm coming for you, Nick.
When do we put the bottle in?
The bottle. The question that always comes back. So now we are installing the UPR. It's the first piece of the UPR safety loop for the drive shaft. This is the mount that goes onto the transmission crossmember. Dude, this car's coming along. I definitely think that, like, so humble brag, but, and this is totally by like happenstance, but I think doing these 3 mods at the time we're doing them seems to be perfect, right? Like, because you're already taking one thing out to get to another, and it's just like meant to be. So I'm glad I did wait and didn't like rush the UPR safety loop, because you guys know I've had that since I've done the LCAs, which was like 6-9 months ago or something like that. So definitely good timing with the way everything worked out, and it's coming along and I'm stoked about it. So we're almost done. In training. And my man works quick over here. He is completing the build of the UPR drive shaft safety loop. So because we have the drive shaft already off the vehicle, we can just slide this one on. But in cases where you don't want to remove the drive shaft, you can just slide this around that and install it with the drive shaft in the car. But so we're gonna go the easy route. He Loctited all of these bolts with nuts, and now we're ready to tighten those down. And we got my man Junior over here prepping the new Dss Driveshaft shop, 1-piece aluminum drive shaft, taking off the flange that comes on the end of that. So
Yep.
we're gonna end up putting this flange on the rear, what do they call it, a yoke? The rear piece of the diff. It'll go there, then we'll mount the drive shaft in all the way through. So getting close. I tell you what, guys, if you can find friends that you trust to work on your car, that's the key. Because a lot of times, some of the people that help me with my car, I feel like I gotta second guess the work that they do. But these guys, they work on cars all the time. And the line of work that they do, well, really they work on trucks, like Ford trucks. But definitely trust the work that they're doing. So I've double checked a couple of their things, and they're like, it's tight, I promise. But it's just the guy in me, I gotta check it. But everything's working out good. Look at this. So 6 short bolts on here, gonna be torqued to 45 foot-pounds.
Coming in.
Coming in hot, the new 1-piece and the drive shaft safety loop. This is a team effort. Hold the rear. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Safety loop is coming off for right now. We're having issues with this hitting the bottom of the race spec shifter. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reach out to Shrod and the team over at UPR and see if they have any recommendations for that. And if they do, we'll see about getting it swapped out and getting the proper one in here so that we can be NHRA legal. So it's a good idea. Did not know we were going to run into that issue. So you adapt and overcome, and we'll figure it out. So let's do this.
Goodness. If it was in first gear, that is really short.
Oh, you got me scared now, dog.
That was very, very short.
That's what she said. Oh, that's not how that works.
Oh, I hate it when it happens.
Alrighty, guys. So the issue we're running into with the UPR drive shaft safety loop is that they're not linked up with MGW over there. I think they use a different shifter company, so the measurements on it are a little bit off. If you show them where the factory holes are, you try and push it up into place, it's coming into contact up there with the bottom of the shifter. But slide it back real quick and we'll show them those dots. We drew some black dots on there, and if you slide that bracket back forward, you'll see we're able to clear some room up there. But what we don't want to happen is drill holes and then have issues with it touching the drive shaft or the shifter linkage while we're shifting the vehicle. So I think we're going to send this stuff back to UPR. They can do some more R&D on it, but we've given them some information with some good pictures and also those black markings on there where it should go when you have an MGW race spec shifter on a S197 Mustang. So I asked Junior for a bottle of water, and he flooded out the shop.
Gotta love the freezing cold in Texas.
Yeah, we were not prepared.
Turn on the water to the shop, and you're welcome, Sean.
Yeah, a little pipe in the corner just and flooded us out, or tried to at least. So not too bad though. It should be an easy fix. But you know, shenanigans of the shop.
He goes, I know better.
Yeah, I do this for a fun, not a living, but a fun. So right now, Junior's torquing it down to 75 foot-pounds, right?
Yes, sir.
70.
70. 70.
Impact.
Impact type rates.
Okay. One more, and then we're going to need to stop this bad boy from spinning.
Justin will be on e-brake patrol.
Hop up in there, little buddy.
Do you want to do e-brake or MGW?
Well, whatever you think.
I don't know how well your e-brake works. Mine works awful because I got drums in the back now.
Oh, yeah. Nah, just rip the e-brake and see what it does.
That shifter looks so good.
Junior, look at this. That's crazy to me. When I first got into my car, I was like,
You thought
the
it
hell
broke?
did I hit?
Yeah,
And I
they're
looked it up.
all that way.
Yep, they're all active from the factory.
But I think this is...
Oh yeah, that's from you hitting.
That's extra.
No, this is factory right here, these three. This... That's definitely...
Special blend of herbs and
Alright.
spices.
Definitely from Ford.
What size were those?
Exhaust is buttoned up. Everything's back on. Everything's double checked for torqueness and tightness and impact strength. And so now we gotta move out the way, lower her down, and we are gonna check the pinion angle on it, just to make sure everything's flowing right like it should. So
Gotta put that power down efficiently.
that's right, baby.
No air.
Let's move this camera. All right, so right now we were trying to check the pinion angle and it was looking okay, but one thing we needed to measure was the CV gap, which is where the end of the drive shaft is that goes into the diff, and then the actual drive shaft itself was a little long. So now I need to lower my lower control arms one more notch, and that should squish everything up just like that, and bring everything a little bit closer and into the range that DSS prefers for these drive shafts when you're running them on the car. So we're gonna try that and report back to you guys. So